Mindset IODK on set with me, Mental Health Matters Thursday, and today we're asking, or at least we're trying to find out the reasons why people are late.
Yes.
That's right, Johansen, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Jason, and good morning to the viewers.
Well, we want to start. We have many, we are Trinbagonians. We could find reasons, huh? We could find reasons.
Correct. Now, there are many reasons why people are late, but I'll do two main ones. One is people are not in touch with the reality of how long it really takes to do certain things. So you may have 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes you think you could bathe, dress, iron, etc., etc., etc. But you're not aware of exactly how long it takes to do something. So being out of touch with the reality of the duration, that's one. And then two, the other reason is simply you don't really want to go to the place, right? But, and as you mentioned, trainees, many times the general mentality that I notice, we trainees, we are passive aggressive. So instead of just saying 9, come in, I'll go be there, but you really don't want to go, so you end up going late.
I guess when you said that, places you don't want to go, many could relate to work, and there are many who come to work late. Like, when I say late, like extremely late. If check-in is for 9, you're trips in 9:30, 10 o'clock. And you do it on a regular. And, it's almost normalized because it's literally part sometimes of certain work culture and even the general culture of the country, because not many people are really reprimanded for being late.
Correct.
So we call it Trini time. We actually put out, we coin a phrase, we call it Trini time, you want to say.
You see this Trini time thing?
But it's culture, it's cultural, you want to say.
It's culture, all right. One, I find is annoying. Two, I always have to clarify when somebody say 5 minutes, I always ask, is Trini time or real time?
Because 5 minutes Trini time is about half an hour. If somebody said 5 minutes away, you want, so you know they're about half an hour away.
We go to sit down and figure out what the conversion rate.
It's about conversion rate.
Right? But you say it become normalized and become culture. So if we're going with, we trainees are passive aggressive. So a passive aggressive, I didn't want to go, so I reached late. And then the person who organized the line, they passive aggressive. So instead of starting the line one time, they extend the time. So now we have, I'm going late, so I extend the time. I'm going late and extend the time, and then we have this thing now called Trini time.
Look at boat rides, Johansen, which we've all been to a boat ride. Sail time, boarding time 2, sail time 3. This is in the afternoon. In reality, boarding time is 3, Sailing time is 4. Because they understand that trainees will not be on time. The boat about to take off and somebody always by Hyatt. They always by Grand Bazaar, by Maritime, are on my way, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting to the point where some people reach so late they have to take a pirogue to get to the boat. And that's just one example of something in the realm of entertainment, but it happens all the time. Whether it's a line, whether it's a function, there are people who are just notoriously late. That's just how it is.
So Jason, when we going to stop this? Because I've tested this already, I start things on time, and after, let's say, it becomes a norm and it's become my culture, people who really want to come, they come on time, because your hands starts things early. And then if it's Trini culture, when foreign companies come into Trinidad and they have their company set up, they don't operate on Trini time, and you know what Trinis do? They operate on their time. They operate on the international body's time. So they no longer operate on Trini time. So it's not necessarily a Trini thing, because we could function, and I'm sure you travel, Trinis function not on Trini time.
Because you have to fall into the culture that exists out there, which is 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. Right. It's not, welcome folks is 5 minutes after 8, welcome to the 8 o'clock news. 8 o'clock news is 8 o'clock news, 12 o'clock update is 12 o'clock update.
Correct.
And I guess it's only really when you travel and you recognize how it is in the wider world. But again, I just wonder if indeed this cultural experience that is, I won't even say unique to Trinidad and Tobago, because it exists in other islands too. We say Trini time, but it's really island time. If it's because we're on an island, we're relaxed, people just move sometimes at their own pace, could we truly break that culture? Culture, is one of the toughest things to break.
Yes, it is. We could break it because Trini time causes mental distress for a lot of people, because there are many people who want things done in a particular timing. And let's use workmen for an example, right? There's also a workman culture of you just kind of show up. right? Even though you're supposed to start work at 9 o'clock, well, I reach 9:30. I go finish it, and then you end up either late, finishing late, or which may cause another date of work, right? Which is a higher cost. And I just using that one example, but generally, it doesn't have people at ease. You're not at ease. So I'm not even sure when I say, well, Jason, I'll come in and check you, right? Or I'll come in 5 minutes. You can't even put things in place because you really don't know what I mean.
I look at Fat Match. I love Fat Match football. For all those who take part in Fat Match. When somebody called for Fat Match on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, men coming out to take a little knock. They say game starts at 4. People now pulling up at 4 o'clock, the game, and then you have to warm up and you have to have the little banter. So the game mightn't start till 5:15. It's just, that's just something that people understand,
All right, we understand it, but that doesn't mean that it's right, because...
Oh, it's wrong, clearly.
Jason, that is nonsense. I'm telling you, that is nonsense, because then sometimes the game, if it have no lights, so we use that. If
well, now, and it get dark early, you might get just a one-third.
So then, what you come to do, you're not even getting to do.
Yeah.
So then, why would I even look forward to the Fat Match after that?
How does one break that, though? Again, we say culture is hard to change, but as an individual, we're not going to look at it from the holistic point of view. From that personal decision, those looking on who, that's their mandate, that's how they operate. How do we, what could we do to start make adjustments to break that on a personal level?
I'll give 2 suggestions. One is, if you don't want to go, just don't go. Right? I started with that. If there's a place you don't want to go, don't go. Now, for children, and in terms of children, you can't just say you don't want to go to school. But even having that kind of conversation with your parents, or whether it is work, anywhere, any destination you have to go, you could say, well, I don't really want to come in. Okay, you could have a discussion with a person instead of saying, well, yeah, I'll come in and then don't go. So being honest about, to yourself first, whether you really want to go or you don't want to go. That's one. And then 2, this may take a little more work, but what I did to become more efficient with time is I timed my daily activities. So I timed how long it take me to take a shower in the morning, how long it will take me to reach certain destinations, to put on my clothes, etc. So after a while, I have a fair idea, okay, to get ready in the morning, it takes this amount of time. To get to work, it takes this amount of time. And then, based on where I have to go, I kind of reverse engineer. So if I have to reach for 7:30, I know it takes an hour to get ready. I know it takes me an hour to just get myself up from bed. I'll be realistic, so then now I could put things in place to make sure I reach on time.
I'll give you a chance to put the closing remarks, because obviously this is a very important one. There are so many people, when you're late, you get anxious, you start to make mistakes, you start to drive ridiculous. It's just, there's a lot going on, and you could end up in serious problems. You can end up in a deeper hot water, as it were, as opposed to if you had move on time. So just as we look to wrap this one up this morning, some closing remarks to Trinidad and Tobago.
Even though lateness may seem like the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, we could do better. Be more efficient with your time, be more realistic about how long things take, so that you could ensure and be on time, so you don't have to rush and be anxious. Don't make life complicated, because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
Let's try to be on time and, break it, because listen, you want to say who would have studied outside and maneuvered outside. Myself, who I enjoy traveling, that's something the nation understands and knows. When you go outside there, you have to really, local time and Trinity time do exist, and there are consequences too. Mm-hmm. So these are things, if you want to have an international footprint, you have to kind of really adjust that one time right here at home. Let's get ready to take the pause. We come back with our segments as we work our way to 7:30. Ian Wason steps in very soon for your morning shot, that in-depth analysis in the world of sport. But your features up next. Stand by.